love men. I love women. I think they are uniquely and beautifully their own, and there are differences between them, between the sexes, like biologically, when we're talking about hormones. Um, Socially, like that's a different layer, but like when we're talking about how bodies develop and the experience of the body on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, like the experiences are very different, and saying that that's not true, just like that doesn't help people, in my opinion. And I think that causes issues. And I don't mean that in a controversial way, I just mean it in a way of like honoring and respecting the body, honoring and respecting God's creation, the universe's creation, whoever you believe's creation, science. Like, it's astounding to me that some people pretend that the differences don't exist. The differences do exist. And there's a lot of nuance there, and there's pros and cons to both sides, obviously. And like, time has shifted the experience for what that has been like for both sides. And I don't mean to overlook like the struggle of, women for a very long time, and my ancestors, because like that is, there's a lot of suppressed pain and wounds from a lot of stuff that had to do with who they were, and you don't have a say over what body you're born into. So like that's very, very deeply tough, especially when your existence and your livelihood is like dependent on men, right? So like that's a whole other thing. But how things stand currently today, I think that we would heal and do a lot better if we acknowledge and honor and respect the differences between men and women, and the differences between masculine and feminine energy, because every soul has the masculine and feminine energy within them. And often we get out of balance. Right now in society, we have a lot of women who are, I would say, more in their masculine energy, and a lot of men who are like more in their feminine energy, and that's for like all sorts of reasons. And then you get into these like subgroups, and there's like hyper opposite versions and like that whole thing. I'm not ignoring that, but like there's nothing wrong with like being feminine. In fact, it's actually beautiful. If your soul chose to incarnate into a female body, like learning how to step into your feminine like is a part of your journey, I believe. If your soul decided to incarnate into a male body, I believe it's part of your journey to learn how to step into a healthy masculine energy. And that doesn't mean ignoring your feminine. It means like integrating it into your life and not suppressing it, and vice versa. And I just think that there's like so much richness, so much beauty there. And I think that when we ignore these things, that there are differences, I think that causes harm. And I'm just like on my own journey with trying to figure all this out. And I love learning about it, and I love talking about it. If you have any thoughts, like please drop them below. Thank you for listening to my rant.